Welcome to another episode on our channel. I'm going back to Michonne because I really liked her character on The Walking Dead, and I wasn't going to pay the amount that's being asked on eBay for the figure, 30 figure. Was able to find a 3D print some time ago, and you guys know that story. This figure is not 1/6 scale. You know, it gave me a chance to paint it and everything, and I was really happy with the end product, except I haven't done the eyes. The eyes take courage on my end. I've never done eyes before, so this will be a first. Anyway, my husband made progress on the house repairs due to the water damage we've had. And so he then had time to do a 1/6 scale model of Michonne. And you can see now, compared to Daryl, this is the right size here. She's crouched, but if she were to stand up perfectly straight, she would be pretty even with Daryl. Maybe slightly shorter, but she is 1/6 scale. So I'm going to take some time and show you how I achieved this look by using this 3D resin print. So we are back, and I'm going to be using a very thick brush because I just want to get a complete coat on this on the boots. All it needs to be is black right now. Use it after I've shaken it up quite well. Just going to use this part here. And just gonna start painting. Here you don't have to be careful. You just need to get it fully covered. Make sure I just do one more quick pass. Okay. We're good to go. I'm gonna break now and use the hair dryer. Yeah. It looks a little glossy, but the paint will settle down after it's dry. We'll be right back. We are back, and I'm done with the boots. I didn't do the pegs on the top. Try to stay away from those, and the pegs on the bottom. But they were glossy before. They're not glossy anymore. So I'm just going to put these off to the side. They're dry. This is water-based paint, acrylic paint. So if you get paint on your hands, it just comes off with a little water, and you're good to go. Now I'm going to do the pants, show you the before and after version. And this is basically blue ribbon folk art. This is Craft Smart. It doesn't matter, you know, you just get a color that you think will work. What will happen though is this will look lighter than what it will end up looking like. You see Michonne in the background there? It's going to go on a lot lighter than what you see back there. That's because that has a wash on it, black wash. All right, so you can see it's pretty bright blue. I'm just going to do the whole thing. Do as quick as I can. And we will pause now while I finish doing this out. I'll hair dry it, and then we'll compare it to the pants that you see behind me on the larger scale Michonne. So we'll pause, and let me finish this out. So I painted the pants in the blue ribbon, the blue. That was the same color that this started out with. But now what I'm going to do, because this is very flat looking, there's no form really evident with this pair of pants. There are lots of creases here that aren't showing up. So what I'm going to do is take a mason jar lid, and I'm going to fill it half with water, and then put a little paint in there, make a watery black, and then I'm going to go over to the sink, and I'm just going to paint it all in that watery color or watery substance, the wash. And then I'm going to take a damp, basically towel, just a damp, not saturated wet, but damp, and just dab off the smooth parts. Not a whole bunch, but enough where the creases are really going to be much more visible. The wash in and of itself is going to change the color tone of the entire pan, but what you want are the creases to show up. So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll be right back. So I haven't changed the moisture in this thing, but I am, dabbing it in the smoother places, trying to, get some shine here and there, but to maintain the creases, to give it much more form and substance. So I just wanted to show you a little of the process there. So you can see it's changed the color tone completely. We had bright blue, and now it isn't so bright in terms of blue. But it has form, it has substance, it has character, and that's kind of what you want. So the neat thing about this is if you get too much wash off, just repaint it. And add a little more black, dab it a bit more, and so forth, until you have the right consistency that you want. See? So now the creases are really showing, right? And in that show, everything was dirty and dungy anyway. So the dirtier, the dungier, probably the better. So I hope that makes sense. All right. So I think I'm done. And there's, there's 100 million ways you could leave this, in terms of color tone. Like I said, if you're not happy with the wash, get it a little more damper, take a little more off if you can help it. If you want more on, go for it. But I like it. It's going to work for me. All right. So we'll pause now and move on to the torso. So we are back, and now I'm going to do the jacket and the shirt. The skin tone is actually chocolate brown, and the jacket is brown. The shirt's going to be orange. I know she's been seen in purple, but I've seen her in orange as well, and I prefer the orange to the purple. The sword part, the blade is going to be metallic silver, and the sheath is going to be white. But everything's going to be washed except for the blade of the sword, and the boots are not washed, and of course the skin is not going to be washed. But I'm not going to be too careful about painting the jacket because I know I'm going to fill in everything else with its own paint. So the arms will be painted, the shirt will be painted orange. So I want to do the jacket and then the shirt, and then I want to do the wash, if that makes sense. So I'll just show you beginning stages to the jacket. And I'm not going to care. She has a strap around where her sheath is attached in the back. That's going to be black. But I don't care now if I get it brown. I can go back and repaint it black. So right now, the most important thing is to get the jacket color on, the shirt color on, do the wash, And then we can come back and paint the belt, the sheath, the arms, the neck, not the neck here, because the neck actually gets plugged in with the headpiece. But we'll do the wash after we get the jacket and the shirt done. So let's shake up the brown. And I'm just going to use the cap, the paint that has settled into the cap because of the shaking. And I'm not going to be very careful here. I'm just going to try to get all of the jacket. And if I go outside the lines, it doesn't much matter to me, as long as I get the entire jacket in this color. I definitely want to make sure I get underneath the sheath. And I am getting the part of the orange shirt, I realize that, but I'll be going over it with orange eventually. So it doesn't much matter. So now if you notice, that color there does not look like this vest, but it will. So while I was waiting for the jacket to dry, I took the boots and I went ahead and put the studs on them with the metallic silver. And I know it sounds a little counterintuitive, but what I did is I took a brush with a point to it and I really loaded up at the end of the point and then just touched the middle of the stud. Because the one thing you don't want to do is try to get the whole stub, painted perfectly. You just want that drop to land on the stud and kind of just flow out on its own, so to speak. So it doesn't go into the other black areas in between the studs. It's a little counterintuitive, but load up and just hit the tip of the stud and let the dissipating take place, and it will work out. So we've got the boots done. With the studs. And we've got the pants done, which has turned out to be this color. We still need to do the belt. That will be in a different color, and the buckle will be metallic silver. We've got the jacket, which looks nothing like this yet. But what I want to do first is I want to get the shirt, and the shirt is here. It's also a little in the middle, in the breast area, a little in a tiny corner of the jacket here, and you can see some of the tank top underneath the jacket itself. So I'm going to take a brush with a finer point, and instead of the thick brush that I was using for the pants and actually for the jacket, and take a finer pointed paintbrush and try to apply the orange to it. The orange will look nothing like that either, because we want to do a wash. Actually, I didn't get the wash dark enough on that, but we will this time. So shake it up, and good. Let's just get it started, and then I'll finish up when I need to, and then we're off to the wash again. So you can see the orange is starting to fill in. I'm trying to be very careful. If I do somehow, unfortunately, touch the jacket edge, I'll come back and redo the jacket. This is the beauty about painting. If you make a mistake, you just repaint. So you can see that the vest is a lighter brown than this vest is. And that's going to be taken care of with a wash. The orange is pretty close. I didn't get the wash as dark as I wanted to here. But I'm going to try to get it a lot darker here. So we're going to do the wash. It's hopefully going to mimic the vest, get it a little darker in the orange areas. And we don't really care what happens to the arms or the belt here that's holding her sheath. Can't even go in the right direction here. This belt here holding the sheath, because we'll go back and paint that black as well as the bottom of the sheath, and the upper part will be white, and we'll wash that part. So hang in there. We're getting close. We are back, and you can see the vest I got darker, and the sash I got dark enough where I like the look. I don't think I'll paint it black this time around. So the last thing I need to do is I need to paint the bottom of the sheath black, the upper part white, do a wash with that as well. And we will be done with this part, I think. So we'll be right back. Now my hands are a mess, granted, but I will clean up nicely. The pants are where I want them to be, really grungy. The boots do have the studs showing. The pegs are showing too, but I don't want to get paint on the pegs themselves. But we've got the studs showing. All right, and we are done except for the arms with the jacket, and the orange is much more darker than it was here, which is what I really, really, really wanted. Back here too, I did the belt and silver buckle, so that's done, and a little silver up here with the sash. All right, so now it's just a matter of painting the arms, the face, and the hair. And I want to do the bandana the same way I did this one. I want to make it blue. So I'm going to start with the hair. Get the head out if I can. Want to mess the head up. Okay. We'll finish up with the hands tomorrow. And the sword. And by then we'll have epoxy things in. So bandana, hair, the skin on the arms, and the skin on the face. We're almost there with the pieces, other than the stand, but the stand shouldn't take that long. So we'll be right back. Now I'm still a mess, but I've done her hair. I want to do the bandana in blue like I did over here because I just think that's a better match. And that's why I picked orange, because I thought that was a better match for her. So let me do the blue, and then we'll put a wash on that. I don't think I have to show you this now because you've kind of gotten it figured out. You take this damp, you don't want a wet soaking towel, but a damp towel just to take whatever paint off you want. So it has the darkness, but the original color, as much of the shine that you want to keep. So the combo has to be there in a way that's pleasing to your eye. So we'll be right back. We are back, and she's looking great. I got the pants the way I want them. I darkened the orange shirt. The vest is what I want to see on her. That shade, that particular wash. I got the bandana to match the pants, washed that. The hair is great. The only thing we haven't painted yet are the hands and the sword, and we haven't done the stand. Once everything is painted, the next thing to do is start epoxying things together. But I don't know if I have the courage to do the eyes. If I do find the courage to do the eyes and I get them done well, then things will be done. If not, I'll have to send the head out to someone I know who can do eyes, because eyes are definitely the window to the soul. And if you don't get the eyes right, it doesn't matter how good everything else looks. We're drawn to faces, and what we see in a face is really going to touch us in some way. I love this character on The Walking Dead, and I'm glad I wasn't able to get 3 Zeros figure. I didn't even know about The Walking Dead for many years until um, the SNS channel, my friend on the SNS channel mentioned or was showing some of the figures on The Walking Dead. And I saw so many of the figures, I started getting curious about the show, and then started watching the show and fell in love with it. So the only thing that's hard about the show is that people keep dying that you get attached to. And we've gotten to, I forgot what season, it might be 5 or 6 or something like that, but kind of stopped watching because I don't want to see anybody else die, that I really like. And I don't know if she survives or not, but I don't want to know right now. Anyway, so I have Carol from The Walking Dead. I customized her. I customized Daryl Dixon, customized Maggie, and have a resin figure of Michonne now. And the only figure I have on order is Rick Grimes. And so if that one does come out, it's scheduled to come out eventually, but you know how these things go. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they take forever. But that will be the only one I'll purchase. So everyone else is customized. So anyway, I'm having fun. This was a journey. I'm kind of happy that this didn't turn out, because this forced me to put pressure on my husband to make me one, because I really wanted Michonne. And I love this pose that she has. It's so dynamic, especially when you get these 2 hands on and the sword. So dynamic. So anyway, I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day. I forgot to show you this. This is basically like a paper towel. It's been used for all the washings on this character, to take off the paint you don't want to leave on after the washing is done. So yeah, I just may keep this for as a memory of doing this character. So the thing will kind of sit next to her somehow. Anyway, really now, you guys have a great one.